the invitation to this strategically important conference and for the excellent contribution that introduced our works. I fully share the view that has been presented in the introductory remarks about both the crucial importance of addressing and fighting climate change with mitigation and adaptation, and the underlying necessity of a comprehensive approach which includes societal transformation and gives a specific role in terms of governance to local actors. As the biggest and most populated urban area in Italy, Rome is called to give a significant contribution to mitigation policy. Moreover, data show that Rome is among the regional capital of Italy, the city most affected currently by climate change. We have had in 1121 compared to 2010 an increase of 1.7 degrees, which is the highest among local capitals. We have 9% of our population extremely vulnerable when there are prolonged heat waves. We have 400,000 citizens affected by hydrogeological risk. So numbers are clear. Climate change is now, not is a future, is even the past, not just the present. Not to say coastal erosion and so on. So we have an extreme urgency to act, and that's the reason why we have been working exactly in the line of the comprehensive must approach, both in terms of topics. So we have adopted climate mitigation strategy, climate plan. We are in the process of adopting, now we are in participatory phase of our adaptation plan, and we decided to integrate this in the whole mainstream these policies, both in terms of governance with the climate office just below me on top, to support the streamlining of these policies in all the different areas, and in terms of overall strategy for the city, because then it will come to the third pillar, societal transformation. The so-called 15-minute cities is conceived also for contributing through overall change in the structure of urban living to these policies. As far as mitigation policies are concerned, in our climate plan, we have upgraded our target from the previous plan was reducing in 2030 compared to 2003, 51%, we increased to 66%. And this is a realistic target to first to the trend, which was better than expected. We have been reducing already 34% emissions compared to 2003, and in terms of the additional resources and policies we have adopted and we are implementing. So we have this target, and we work in the framework of a 100 smart and climate neutral city framework of the European Union. And in our climate mitigation plan, we address in particular, of course, the two main sources of carbon emissions, which are buildings, which are responsible for 55% of emissions in Rome, and cars, which are responsible for 35% of emissions in Rome. So, of course, these are the two main focuses. As far as buildings are concerned, we are of course promoting retrofit intervention, and in particular now energy communities with solar panels in public buildings, uses the roof of our public buildings, and now we are working through, now we have a decree, a very important decree from the government, which allows to the public, the energy communities, easier way. We are trying to find a proper financing mechanism to address the, let's say, the problem that currently makes more difficult, while it's convenient for a group of citizens to create energy communities to install solar panels. There is a financing problem because while the costs are low compared to the benefits, but as it is very granular, is not a single interlocutor. To find bank finance is difficult. So we are looking with the EIB of mechanisms to make structure products of finance to facilitate this widespread diffusion of solar panels on roofs, on the roofs of Rome. And second, we are urban forestation under the Next Generation EU. We are 1 million trees planting target. Third is transport. Of course, we have I will more detail give examples tomorrow, but we are of course promoting a strong shift to public transport, electrification of buses, metro, tram stations, and so on. So these are the main pillars of the mitigation plan. And we are now inviting all the stakeholders, living city companies, and so on, to sign a climate plan so that all the stakeholders contribute to these targets. Then we have the adaptation strategy, which is, as I said, now under discussion, which focuses on four dimensions: resilience against intense rainfall and floodings, which requires a number of very important actions, in particular white water sewage network, strengthening of a drain plan, a number. But this is also highlights one of this problem that we have various responsibilities, various levels. So it's very important a governance structure that encourage a cooperation among different. Because if I act down to the river, but the Tiber and nobody does anything in management or river floods upstream and tributaries of the Tiber, that's so that's the problem of governance is crucial, especially in this specific dimension. The number two, of course, is safety of water supplies. We are now doubling and securing the Peschiera aqueduct to ensure long-term water supply stability. But here is in particular, and of course, addressing the leakage, reducing leakages and aqueduct systems. Very important is to create incentives to recycling of water, which requires specific policy in the terms of tariff, and which is very important. Which is also important for another dimension adaptation, because if we have recycling water, we can water our parks in the summer, they can be fresher, and the place where people can go. But of course, we cannot be with drinking water. So recycling water is really crucial. And then, of course, reducing impact of heat waves and rising temperature. Here we are developing a more targeted plan of permeabilization of soil, trees planting, and identifying with the support of scientists, European Commission areas, and how to improve the optimize this intervention in the area of the city where heat waves are more relevant. But of course, there are a lot of other measures, but I need to be synthetic here. And finally, of course, that's very complicated, addressing resilience of coastal areas where we have a phenomenon of erosion, which are very, very complicated. But I would like to underline the third dimension, which I consider crucial, which is a societal transformation, which in our view has two pillars. One is the urban structure. So the so-called 15-minute city requires to build proximity services close to the citizen. We have 300 neighborhoods in Rome, and of course, every neighborhood can stop being just a place where you sleep, and then you go to another area where you work, and then you go to another area of a city where you consume. But we have to create a model of city where, based on proximity, which people have services close, so it reduces the needs of moving here and there. But the most important component of this proximity concept is not just the practical one of having less to commute, but the one relating to the human relationship. So, and this goes from proximity to, let's say, fraternity and community. So to support local engagement, active citizenship, a sense of community produce and supports ethical engagement, which Pope Francis called ecological conversion, which affects not just the factual reduction of emissions, but and links the climate challenge with more social equity and so the social dimension of sustainability, which is both ethical and practical, because of course we need also to reduce inequality. This is part of was adaptation, of course, because people, if they are poor, they are more affected. So, this dimension, of course, let's say the fraternity dimension is extremely important. And so I would like to really support the remarks of the introduction in 2 points. First, governance is crucial, and the role of local authority is crucial because we are the place where things happen and where things can be changed. So, and we have a deficit in terms of governance. I don't have the time to elaborate on the various points, but it's very easy to identify the points which should be, let's say, changed in terms of providing, empower better local authorities to the tools to implement these policies. We have also a financing gap, of course. We have a clear, evident investment gap, which is very easy to quantify. In our plan, we have identified the resources. Now we are in a good moment because we have the resources for the Jubilee, we have the resources for next generation EU, but when this resources will be over, we have now currently, and of course this affects a more general terms in terms of macroeconomics priorities and so on, but it's extremely important. And third, and finally, as I said, this is extremely important, the active engagement of citizens and the general raising of awareness, because only with this common commitment we can, and then we think that in this, if we do this, we can multiply the awareness and also the actions, and so the targets that seem not possible are possible, because I fully agree with the Thomas Edison sentence. So it's not true that it's not possible. It's possible, and we have first to be the one who believe that it's possible, and then if we believe that it's possible, I think citizens can do more, far more than we expect. Thank you very much.